everyone, I'm Angel Wu. Welcome to Taiwan is my home. Do you like watching puppet shows? In recent years, Pili puppetry theater thrived in Taiwan. However, the traditional puppetry in temples is fewer and fewer. This is a craft that doesn't have high pay, but have to run around and toilsome. So, we should really thank our new inhabitant heroine today, who married to Taiwan at 18 without knowing a bit of Mandarin or Taiwanese, but learning little by little. Now, she can perform with her husband and read the verse. And their daughter, Chen Shuru, also takes her leading role at puppetry club at school. The Three People family heritage Taiwan's traditional culture. Come on. Come on. Yep, come on. Okay, come over. To learn Taiwanese culture, to learn more about the puppet, Taiwan is also cultural. Is this for the opening? Yes, it's for the opening. Okay, thanks. You have to learn what to do in Taiwanese culture. You have to pray first, then you can go out for play.
神威显赫救万物，地人人杰逍遥福，民敬神欢万民乐，万姓保平安，好寿添好寿。咱现在所办大水八仙，要来求就咱三清观音佛祖等。
Yulin County, Taiwan's puppets town. They have the most puppet shows in here and also gave birth to master-level puppeteer. 12 years ago, Susan Ye came from Indonesia to Taiwan alone to Yulin. At the age of 18, she never imagined that her future would stick to traditional Taiwan art glove puppetry. Changed her life totally when she married the leader of a puppetry class, Jinan Chen. At first I didn't know, I put it like that. He scolded me. The face would be squashed if you put it like that. This is the board. This paint will fall off. This fabric is soft, so it's okay. So we should put it like this. When I first came, we didn't have it that there, so I put it there and he scolded me. 12 years ago, when Ye is married to Taiwan, don't say touch. She didn't even heard of puppet show. Ye immediately started a life of going up the stage and learning about performing at the same time. After marriage with a husband 9 years older than herself. Just like at first, Ye can't speak a word of Chinese or Taiwanese. Helping her husband to act the puppet show, needless to say, is hard work for her. My wife had a scenario here. It's here. She will write here, the English here, because we write our words here. She will put the English explanation here. She know which character should go up then. At first, she doesn't know, so we have to show her. She stands beside, then I taught her which one goes first up like that, or else she wouldn't know. This Taiwanese daughter-in-law who could only speak Indonesian, but she forced herself to recite the Taiwanese pronunciation. She racked her wits to remember the order of each character to take her half a year gradually to get herself on track. At first, she could only take a bit of the rhythm. Now Ye could already act fluently with her husband perform the puppet show. An Indonesian Taiwan daughter-in-law transformed into a mother who gives birth to new Taiwan children, who takes Taiwan as her second homeland. Teacher, I'm picking up Chen Shuru. The only daughter, Chen Shuru, is 12 years old now. From young, she accompanied parents to perform puppet shows everywhere. She started coming out with us since she's 2 months old. I remember once in the puppet bag that we use in the puppet show, the one that we put the puppet in it, she always sleep there for 2 months. She just sleep inside there. This puppet bag they're talking about is this one on the backstage, a bag that is held with a thin string. When Chen was still a baby, she slept there and grew up hearing her parents' puppet show. In the influence of her parents, she could speak a puppet show verse in such a young age.
是事已空托，经过诸多的富贵大有名，樱花自有时。
It's different with how you talk normally, pretending to be an elderly, pretend to be a young servant, pretend to be a girl. Is that all different? Yes. Having a pair of thin, long, beautiful eyes, she is like mom in the face. Also a puppet club member at school. If she has time, she accompanies her parents as before. The thoughtfulness of her is the greatest comfort of Ye is also the strength that supports her to go through every low tide and homesickness. It's hard to imagine the backstage behind this small puppet show. There's actually a hard time behind the back of this family who together perform the puppet show. Just past the beginning of summer, facing the rainy season, the rain falls on the way of farmlands. Ye went right ahead in the rain. She is in a hurry to look after the tomato garden she planted on her own. Because that day was a rainy, windy day, it fell off when the wind blows. It was put like this. It should be put straight up like that. But because of the rain and wind, it fell down completely, not like the normal ones that would grow straight up tall like these. Making rounds in the garden carefully, arranging and harvesting, worrying the rainy days in a row and unstable weather would affect the tomatoes' growth. Sue never farmed in the Indonesian homeland before. It's also after marriage that she started to learn farm works. These little red tomatoes not only is her painstaking effort, also symbols that she had settled down in the foreign land of Taiwan. Actually, just can't farm in this garden and have a stable life to hold a family with her husband made Ye felt plenty of thankfulness because of her foreign marriage was not full of happiness at first. We had hard times at the time actually, not easy. At the time, he didn't have a work. It is hard to find a job at the time. When I just got married, it's not so good. There are too many people were in this business. It was tough. Now it's slowly getting better. There are more shows now. We farm now and then. Money weren't the first issue. Susan wasn't even 19 when she married her husband. She thought she could rely on him, but things turned out completely different. Not yet 30, Chen had not known how to be a master in the house yet. Waking at 4 to 5 a.m., drinking on the chair. In the morning, 4 to 5, drinking spirits, not the usual ones. Keep drinking from the morning till night. It is not like that at first. He changed a month to 2 months, then say, at the time we fight every day. He scolded me, then I cry there. Even if I go out and tell them, they wouldn't understand. So even if we want to complain, there's nowhere to, just crying silently. These noisy, sad days, recalling them, seemed made light. But at the time, facing language barrier, the young and pregnant Susan Ye once felt desperate. Fortunately, she is optimistic to make her find her path. He used to drink. He drank a lot and went home with other people. That's before. Well, I thought, I'm married already. What could I do? Just be patient. Let him drink if he likes, and we'll work outside. He can't find them, right? If we work outside. Susan's preference slowly changed her husband. He started to expand his puppetry group to discover more opportunities. He also worked to help others farm work. He changed very much. Many people knows that. Yeah, and others would think that, that's strange. How can this person change that much? He changed. He really didn't want to work before. The efforts paid off. Now that the family relies on each other with the same hobby and business. This is the happiness Ye imagined 10 years ago. He said it should be turned like this, but I just can't, you see? Teacher, show her. Nah, it's quite easy. If you can, you just do this. Just sweep it like this. Because he can, it's easier in his way. Gotta have strength. I don't have strength. I don't have much. It's harder. It's easier because his hands are craftful. It's harder to use a shorthand. You have to let go that finger. Kilometers away from Jakarta, Indonesia, Janan Plain at the northern end, Jijan Village, Dapi Township, Yuling County, the new inhabitant Susan Ye had a family and parenthood in this simple, quiet village. Also learned traditional puppetry, although homesick sometimes. But the emotion for land of Taiwan has deeply rooted in Susan Ye's heart already. Welcome back to Taiwan is my home. Belly dance have a popularity recent years in Taiwan. Many ladies say the shiny costume made everyone's princess dream come true. The heroine of this country is belly dance costume designer. She was 20 years old. Married to Taiwan from Sichuan, experienced the hard days of fear in a unfamiliar place, but she chose to go out to make friends and participate activities after tearing. Her smile is as dazzling as the costumes she designed. Exotic melodies circulate in the air. Girls with fringe decorations dance to the rhythm with dazzling costume. In the crowd, we found our heroine. It's Chunhua Gu from Sichuan, China. Every Thursday, this whole afternoon's lesson is the time that she dances with friends. Immersed in the joy of dancing, it's hard to imagine. Because of dancing, made this girl from China designed a new life in Taiwan by accident. She is a designer, and her pieces are right before us. Seashell. This is seashell. 3D Linko design would take the visual of bigger breasts. At first, she likes something romantic, so I use lace to flange edge, just to make her look like a mermaid. So we use fishtail dress down there to make her look thin and long overall. Elegant blue, embroidered with silver thread and dazzling exquisite crystal, tailored skirt fit on dancers. With a rhythm of limb, dazzling, this costume is made by Gu Chunhua. From design to production, the most important thing of a good costume is to be able to bring the dancers confidence. Chunhua's design apparently have the first feature of a perfect costume. Very talented. I love her. We're good friends in belly dance. I really love her because when I asked her to be my model, she immediately helped me. There's many clothes in her room. It's actually customizable, so I picked my favorite. I told her my ideas, then she matched it with my style. Actually, everyone is not the same style. It's based on individual needs. So how many sets already? In fact, I've also bought her exercise clothes, so it should be 6 to 7 sets. Stage costume is 2 to 3 sets. Actually, I have a lot of Chinese friends. Some of them really are living a splendid life in a foreign land. We must give them credits for it. Her handmade skills are wonderful. I regard them as heroes. Every one of them is. Yes. I think I met a lot of people who is willing to help me in Taiwan. I don't think I'm excluded or something because they always supported and encouraged me. Even if I don't do a good job, they'll give me advice and space to revise. Really. So I regard them as my heroes. Taiwanese warm-hearted and kindness to us is nothing, but to her, she will never forget. It is hard to understand Gu's feelings without the experience living home in a foreign land alone. 29 now, she left home at 16. Starting from working in Guangzhou, she was married to Taiwan at 19. Leaving home 13 years, it is hard to imagine. A tiny, skinny girl like her had a strong-willed heart. Anyone will have times that feel sad. I try to not think about it. The things that are sad. The sad time Gu is talking about is the first 3 years when she was married here. Because I come here immediately, pregnant at the very month, after the period of pregnancy, leaving home and being a mother, you'll feel that I can't predict life will change better or worse at all. That is not something of what courage that can injure, really. Tears fall while she speaks. Even after all these years with stability and happiness now, recalling the helpless feeling then, Gu still cannot resist the raging emotions. We can imagine accepting the marriage proposal at 19, settled in Taiwan at 20. Gu's husband is 15 years older than her. His work is so busy that he barely have time for her. Gu carried the baby alone. No one can understand the loneliness. I was alone almost all the year when I was pregnant. In this living room, I sat in the living room, watched TV until I fell asleep. And then I just sleep like that. When you're pregnant? Yes. In this house? Yes. I try to tell myself to be happy. I have a little baby now. I have to be happy, so my baby will also be. This is the tough. It's the toughest year in Taiwan. Eldest in her family, Gu had 2 younger sisters and 10 years difference. Perhaps because she's the eldest, Gu was an independent child since young. In her teenage years, her dad occurred a serious accident, nearly killed. Family misfortune made her grow up overnight. Giving up her studies at 16, working out to help home finance, at a young age she went out of West Coast, Guangdong province, from the inland Sichuan, sent home the meager salary she earned. Precocious and sensible, Gu is actually very optimistic. Even when the accident occurred at her father, she rarely tears. I think difficulties are a challenge, but living in Taiwan is something harder to me than misfortune. It's living in a remote place, especially like new residents like this are afraid of being discriminated. With so many fear inside, you have a lot of uncertainty. Like father in a family or something. As long as you know you have the courage to endure it, but this is something that you have a lot of uncertainty. You fear of being discriminated. You fear your unhappiness. Luckily, the brave Sichuan girl did not give up easily. Taiwan as her second home, after her son got 3, Gu began to study Taiwanese and don't lose the locals at all at singing and speaking. I tried very hard to blend in the life of Taiwan because I know this is a place where I'm going to live in the future even longer than my homeland, so I must know the cultural habits in this side. She tried to attend various courses to blend in Taiwan community groups. And even belly dance, the intention beginning was to train her guts. I love this so much, you know. Look, this is actually one beat each. When you see this, I would feel I'm the brightest on the stage. Belly dance costumes emphasize gorgeous and dazzling. Sequins beads are absolutely indispensable. These are Hansoon, of course. She had to spend 7 days for just a small top because of her meticulous workmanship. Her costume was quite popular. She started from just for fun, sewing costumes for herself, into taking pattern-making courses, finding inspiration all the time. Now, her work even had a brand called Shumir. This is homophonic to her another name, Gushumei. She ever had so many orders that she had to hire helpers. Busy and enriched days, more and more close friends made her life in Taiwan gradually changed. Something better now is I have Taiwan friends. Everyone are like relatives. So, the homesick feeling is not that big. Knowing that they live very well is comforting already. Not like I first came, calling back every day. If the belly costume design and production accidentally brought out her potential, then the homefulness of trophies and awards is her source of confidence and accomplishment. These are the splendid achievements of Gu, who loved to sing. That's where I should sing, right? Yes.
幸福有没有在我身边？怎么一直看不见？
幸福
Higher the voice.
幸福有没有在你那边？
Her son is now able to duet songs with his mother. Good, let's go next.
家你已经找了好多遍，只有温暖的房间。
爸爸说幸福就在镜子里。
Be more articulate. It's not very clear just now. Although husband is busy at work, now with her son Yu Chen's company, Gu no longer feels lonely. This singing competition held by the immigration is the first time they both go on the stage. The second-grade Chen Yu is not nervous beside his mother at all. When they go up, the affection between a mother and son is naturally shown. Who said new immigrants in Taiwan can't have a colorful life? From Sichuan to Guangzhou, finally with her beloved husband, she came to Taiwan. The decision 10 years ago is undoubtedly a big bet in her life. With optimism and efforts, she bets on a lifetime of happiness. Did she bet rightly? Needless to say. These new resident mothers gives us excellent examples. Their story gives us courage to face difficulties. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.